Hello everyone, welcome back. I haven't posted in a little bit, but I decided to have a nice, easy stock talk Sunday. Hope everyone had a good trading week. It was a pretty flat week overall. Started off really well, but the last 2 days weren't too hot. I thought I'd go over a few plays that I had last week and talk about what I'm planning to do next week. So to begin, obviously GameStop was a big stock, a big short squeeze that happened. Um, if you don't know what a short squeeze is, it's basically when there's a lot of people shorting the stock and big buyers come in, buy up the stock, forcing so many people to that are shorting to buy the stock when they want to do the opposite, and that's exactly what happened. It started off at 42 and then ran up all the way to 76, 76, which is ridiculous. This stock, there's nothing. They only had a little bit of management, as you can see. If we go to just the month, the 30-day, it was just a month ago. 16 bucks. So this is not the. This is only the 10-day. Excuse me. So if I mean, this thing could hit 100, I guess, if it hit 76, 76. But in reality, I'm shorting the stock. I bought puts up here. They're doing pretty good. It ran up to 68 in after hours, and then already down to 61. We're gonna see this thing open up lower, I think, in my opinion. Even though it's oversold, I think this thing is going to really fall down back into that 50 range at least. And then maybe the 40s and 30s. So I bought a few cheap puts that I'm looking to capitalize on big gains from. Now, second good play I had, and going into the future, if you look at JMIA, and I've talked about this a few times, we'll go to the 3-week chart. Just because the weekly chart for the last 3 years. I'm gonna pull this down a little bit. It opened up on, this is when it opened up as an IPO. It hit just about 49.74, and ever since then it started to fall and hit a low of $2. It's formed this cup, this 2-year cup, and then as you can see, it had a little handle here after hitting all-time high, after re-hitting highs of 49, created a handle, and then exploded from 35 all the way up to right now. It's at 57.43, but if we look at the day and the minute already in after hours, it's at 60.17, which is insanity of a day. It's up 25% today, and I bought just around here at $51. I bought a lot of the 55 calls, and I started getting nervous around here, but double bottomed and took off all the way up here, which was fantastic for my calls. It was my second best play of the day. My best play of the day was PLTR, Palantir Technologies. Kathy Woods bought this a few days ago. Now it opened up. I've made a lot of money on Palantir now twice. It had a similar day to this. If we go back to, it has a similar day like this right here, where it kind of came down, touched 20 again from the high of 33.5, and then rode all the way up to 31 again. Now, it formed a huge flag, right? A huge triangle, and it was either going to break down to the downside, which usually only happens when it comes from the downside and forms this flag, but since it rose from the up, since it kind of rose, it's like going higher, it broke out to the upside, and it's yet to hit all-time highs. It came pretty close. It was about 20 cents short, but I bought the $28 calls. If we go back, I bought the $28 calls right when it was about $27. Kind of did nothing, kind of flat, and then started to really take off. And as you can see, the entire day, it was trading higher and higher. And that's just because Kathy Woods bought it a few days ago. It had a little bit of good news. If you can check the live news, it's another Wall Street Bets stock that was just pumped up, and it dropped down to just about 30.56 in the after hours, so it was down about $1. But then really battled back to only finish down 3 cents. And I honestly think this is going to open up higher. JMIA is obviously going to open up higher. So those are two great plays. SPWR. This is another stock that did really well for me. I'll pull it down right here. I actually bought this thing right here at $42. And then as you can see, it had a... No, I think I bought it around $43. And I apologize for that. And then it ran up all the way up to $47 to end the day, and kept pushing in the after hours. As you can see, it even hit 48.21. This stock has been on an incredible run. It's a solar company. I'd wait for a pullback to get into this, like one of these right here when it came back and touched this 9-day. I'll probably sell this thing Monday and wait for a little bit of a pullback, but I've been trading this since it was about $32, and it's really worked out for me. Just a few stocks that I'm swinging over the weekend. Another one is GRWG. Could create a head and shoulders here. Doubt it. This is a good company. I'm looking to sell this one quickly right off. I don't think it's going to surge through all-time highs. If it does, that's awesome, but I don't know. And then Twitter. Twitter looks fantastic when you look at it. If you can see, honestly, I think it's forming a inverse head and shoulders, which is a very bullish pattern. I think if it can get up above here to this 49 level, it's going to keep pushing up to this 53 level. So that's what I'm looking for now. NNDM. Nano Dimensions. I own a lot of this stock. This was $1 just not too long ago. And you can see it's had this incredible run, and it had a fantastic week. I'll zoom out for it. I'll go out to the week as well. 5 days. As you can see, 5 days ago it was $10. Now it's hit almost $15 in the after hours. I own a lot of shares of the stock, and I own options. But as you can see, it touched here, 12.39, flew, was up 14% today. This is a very long-term hold for me, at least until it gets into the 20 range. I think it can. So this is definitely a stock I'd look for a little bit of a pullback. If they announce shares, I think they'll get over it. Something else I'm holding shares on is CCIV, right? The Lucid Dreams, right? This thing kept pumping after hours. People are bullish on this because they think it's going to be a Tesla competitor if they can sign the deal, but they haven't signed the deal yet. So be careful with that, because it could go right back down to $12 if they don't get the Lucid deal signed. So always remember that. Now, let's talk about how to trade this upcoming week with all the earnings. Apple, right on Monday. If we have a not so strong open, as you can see, I already know Apple had it's already having a great week, hit an all-time high. It's fantastic. But there's room to run. There's room to run, right? Every stock runs up before, well, not every, but especially the big ones. Apple runs before earnings. It's starting to already. If we see a little bit of a drop on Monday, I am buying this. I'm buying calls for the weeks. Will hold for about 2 days. Another one on remember they report on Wednesday. Do not hold options through earnings. Always super risky. Microsoft. I was swinging Microsoft. I sold just about here, right? Because I was holding since the previous day. I don't know why it had this big sell-off. This is a stock I'm going to look to get into on Monday because it reports on Tuesday, just for a quick 1 to 2 day hold. They had a price target upgrade. I believe it was 285. I can double check that, which is pretty solid. So I hope that I'm not really exactly sure why it ended up being only about 226 after an upgrade like that, but who knows? Maybe there were some big sellers at that 230 mark. Now, when we look at Tesla, they report on the same day as Apple, and so does Facebook. Tesla was only up $1 today, right? On Friday, excuse me. look for, it's in this triangle, right? I can see it breaking out of this little triangle and try to push higher just because they have earnings on Wednesday. So look for a big 2 days out of the market right before these big earnings. And when we look at Facebook, Facebook battled. I wanted to buy at this 244 range and just did not. I should have. This thing is going to keep climbing higher. It's going to make its way to the 300. Earnings are going to be fantastic for these companies because they've been trading almost sideways for almost 3 months now, right? And these are the best companies in the world, so just keep an eye on that. Then we have Visa. Visa on Thursday, which had a big drop off that 220. Look for a bounce back up to 209, touch that 200-day moving average, and we'll see what happens after that. But that's what I'm really looking for over the next few days. I think we're gonna have a strong week. If we look at Netflix, right? Netflix is one of the FANG stocks that has already reported. It hit an all-time high. Bounced almost $100 just on earnings, and it was one of those stocks that trade sideways. So look for Apple to do that. Look for Facebook to do that. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a great trading week. I'll probably post a recap of Monday, but definitely put these stocks on your watch list and get ready to trade them. Have a good trading week.